A 2018 Federal Reserve survey found that almost 40% of American adults wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency with cash, savings, or a credit card charge that they could quickly pay off. Meaning, if they had an emergency, they would not be able to find cash, they would not be able to pull it from savings, or if they charge a credit card, they would not be able to quickly pay off the credit card. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing a few things, a few tips on ways to bolster our savings. I'm going to be sharing my status in the 52-week savings challenge. And I'm also going to be sharing my net worth and explaining what that is. And I was going to have a little bit of fun with games, but I don't think I'm going to do that tonight because I lost the mic. And because of that, the part that's going to be in the comments, I'm going to have to take out. So with that said, welcome back to Sev Talks Money. This is the place where we talk all things money and strategies that lead to financial freedom. And so again, today we're talking about savings, and I just want to dive right in and talk about a couple of tips that I want to share with what you can do to save. The first tip I want to share is automate your savings. And what that means is you want to go to your HR person, or if you're self-employed, you want to set aside a set amount every pay period, or every time you do a draw. If you are an entrepreneur, every time you do a draw, you want to make sure you have some set aside to go in your savings, because what they say, you can't miss what you never have. So if you are wanting to bolster your savings, one of the quickest ways to do that is to set aside an amount, automate it, set it, and forget it. The second thing is to look at, when you're thinking about savings, is what can you cut and how can you earn more money? Because there are three things you can do. You can earn more money, you can cut your expenses, or you can do both. So what can you cut? Do you have subscriptions that you're not using? Like for me, I have been paying $29.95 or $29.99 for LinkedIn because I want to do the classes that are on LinkedIn, but I haven't been doing that. So that's $30 a month. That's $360 a year that I'm pretty much throwing away. So I need to go back and get that money and add it to my savings. Groceries. Can you cut back on some of the things that you do for groceries? If you're in a position where you are not making a lot of money, maybe you want to go back to that college diet. Like my daughter loves to cook big meals and she hates leftovers. So she's always throwing away stuff. And I'm like, that's just such a waste. So I will eat the leftovers until they're gone, okay? Because I just don't want to waste money. So look at your groceries. Look at the ways you're handling your groceries. Maybe, another thing that you could look at doing is some side hustles. And again, with this 52-week challenge, we're going to be doing this, and I'm going to be sharing every last Friday of each month. The last Friday of every month, we're going to be coming on here and we're going to be sharing an update. I'm going to be giving you an update on where we are on the on the savings, and also on my net worth. I'm going to be giving an update on that. And then I'm also going to be sharing some tips and tools on things you can do to increase your savings. And I'm going to also have guests who will be on the broadcast and we'll share some tips on either side hustles and different things that you can do to amp up your savings. So let's go back to the tips. So then this again, the first tip is automate your savings. And let me take this off. Automate your savings. The second tip is to look at what you can cut. What can you get rid of? What things can you get rid of? So with that said, let me share where I am in my savings, in the savings challenge. Now, I think what I did was a little bit unfair, because I got a $150 gift card from my company, from the company I work for Christmas. And I keep forgetting that I have it. I just kept forgetting that I have it because I really didn't need it. And so I decided to use it for my groceries, and then I could take that cash. And so as of now, I have $170 in my little box. Remember, I told you I was going to use this little box as my little saving. So I have $170 in my savings. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70. So I have 170. You can see that in my little savings box for my savings challenge. Now, again, this is outside of my regular savings. This is just an additional savings challenge. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. And you can see, share this. And you can see this is the 52-week challenge where you're saving $1 each week progressively. So I didn't mark off for this one. And this one I'm saving for my trip to Jamaica. This other one for $2,500, I am saving to help publish my book. So since I have 170, I'm going to mark it off with you here. So I'm going to just find, let's see, I'm going to mark up that 100 and find a 50 somewhere. Here's one, 150 and a 20, a 20, a 20, a 20, a 20. Here's one. So I have marked off 170 on this square, and I haven't marked anything off on this one yet. So some of the things that I am doing to increase outside of my regular savings, outside of my regular job, is I just started as an academic coach, teaching, or not teaching, I'm helping the instructor in the accounting analysis class in an MBA program. So I'm grading papers and I am monitoring the chat conversation, helping students when they send me email. I'm getting paid for that. That's going to go as part of my savings challenge. And I'm also looking at possibly selling some, well, I know I am. I'm selling some things. That's another thing that I'm trying to do. I'm decluttering. That's my word of 2021, one of the words. And I'm going to be selling some things. And that's going to go as part of my extra saving for the extra challenge. And again, I'm saving my regular savings. That's outside of that. You can't miss what you never had. And that's what this is. You know, if you're selling something, I have a drum set upstairs that my daughter wanted, and she played on it maybe 3 times, maybe 5 times. I'll be generous and say 5. And it's sitting upstairs. And so I'm just like, I'm going to sell that drum set because I don't really, she's not using it. She probably won't ever use it because she's at that stage now. So yeah. So let me go back, and then I'm going to, the next thing I want to do is share my net worth because again, I want to show people that you know, if I'm telling you what to do, I want to show you that I'm doing what I tell you to do. So net worth is taking all of your assets and then all of your liability, your debt and whatever, and you taking the difference. The difference of that is your net worth. That's your net position. And so for me, as of today, my net worth is 154,701, meaning after I took all of my debt, all of my liability, and well, not the only debt, I have a student loan, so and it's a lot. So after I took that and I subtracted it from my assets, my 401k and all the other things, when I subtracted it and my savings and all of that, my net worth is positive 154,701. Now, I'm sharing that because 5 years ago, when I went through my divorce, my net worth was negative. So I have come a long way in 5 years. So I want to gladly share where I am. And as we go along with this challenge and we meet the last Friday of each month, then I will share some of the things that I've done to grow my net worth to where it is. And the app that I'm using to track my net worth is called Personal Capital. And Personal Capital, you're able to link your 401k, you're able to link your bank accounts, you can link all of your asset accounts and all of your liability accounts. And asset and liability is accounting speak. So let me back up. Assets are like cash, the value of your house, the value of your car, your savings account, the value of your what your house is worth. And then your liability is what you owe on the house, what you owe on the car, if you owe anything on the car, any debt you have, any credit card debt you have, any of that. And the net of those is your net worth. That's what you're worth at that point in time. So you want to be able to track that, because you want to try to be in a net positive position for your net worth. You do not want your liabilities or the things that are costing you money to be higher than the things that are gaining you value, the things that are bringing value to you. You want the things that are bringing you value to be higher than the things that are taking away value. So that is my net worth. So let me recap real quickly. For savings, you want to, two things that you can do is automate your savings, and you want to set money aside, set it, put it, go to HR, wherever. If you're working, go to HR. If you are self-employed, set aside an amount. You want to take care of your 80-year-old self. You want to take care of your 92-year-old self. You want to take care of your 75-year-old self. So you want to set aside some money, because you don't want to be in a position where you don't have any savings, so you have to use a credit card for an emergency. And then while you're in the middle of paying off that credit card, here comes another emergency. And so you're ending up having to use a credit card all the time, or some kind of loan, or pulling equity from your house or something to be able to handle emergencies. So you want to have that. So automate some savings, decide how much it is. Start at $5, start at $10, start at $2, whatever. Just start it, because it's more the habit than anything else. And so the next thing you want to do is look at what can you cut, how can you earn more money. And again, I shared with you a couple of the things that I'm doing to earn more money. I'm going to be selling some stuff. And then plus, I'm also working as an academic coach to help with accounting classes in this MBA program. And that's bringing me some money. So those are the two things right now. There are others that I'm going to be sharing as we move along that I'm using to add some money. And then I'm also going to be cutting LinkedIn. I'm going to be cutting that because I'm not doing the classes. When I start going back to the classes, then I will add LinkedIn back to it. And so the next thing is sharing net worth. And the net worth is taking the value, things like your assets, which are like your car, your house, your cash, your 401k, the value of that is considered assets. And then your liability would be things that are costing you money. Those are the payments that's left on your car, the payments that's left on your house, any debt that you have, student loans, credit card, any of that. You want to net those two, and that's your net worth. That's what you're worth as of today. And then the last thing I wanted to share was how much money I've already made in the challenge. Not quite made, it was kind of like a gift. And so I have $170 that's set aside, and I've marked that off in the one challenge sheet that I'm using to save for producing my book. And then the other challenge that I'm doing is saving to go to Jamaica. And another thing too is where I'm getting money from, which I've already used the first set that I got for 2021, but I have property in Jamaica and somebody's renting it. And when they send it to me, I'm adding that to my savings. Now, when they send me the money, when it converts, it's like nothing, but it adds up. This is property that my sisters and I own in Jamaica, and we're going to be adding that. I'm adding my portion to my savings account. So I'm hoping that for those of you who are watching now, or who are going to be watching the replay, that you are also doing the savings challenge. Again, this is outside of your normal savings that you're doing. If you're already doing that, and if you haven't already started your normal savings, then this may be a good way to do that. And it's more about the habit of savings than saving than the amount. If you are able to get into the habit of saving, that would be awesome. Because I started, my daughter, she's saving $100 out of each paycheck, and she just started this job a few months ago, and she is over $1,000. So it is very doable. Very, very doable. Again, thank you, everyone. I will see you. I have linked in the description and in the comments the video where we kicked off the 52-week savings challenge. And so I will see you next. I'll see you on Sunday, where we're going to have a visitor. We're going to have a guest talking about investments. And on the next Sunday, we'll have somebody talking about how you can buy a hotel as an individual. So, which is done. So please come back and join us for those. And then also the last Friday of February, we will do another update. And this time I'll play some games. I really wanted to play some games. But I know that I'm going to have to edit this video, and I didn't really want to lose my comments, and I'm going to have to edit and lose my comments.